Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever you are, nasan man tayo, anong oras man dyan. So this is the pilot episode, the official pilot episode of Jutz. So our first topic or first thing that comes to mind, being the title in itself, it's our thoughts, no? So yan ang ating pag-uusapan ngayong araw, gabi, kung nasan ka man. That's why una nating titingnan is what are you thinking right now? So ano yung naiisip mo right at this very moment? Ano yung mga tumatakbo sa utak mo? What are the things that are going on in your mind right now? Are you thinking about the projects that you're going to do? Or maybe hindi pala kasi that's actually an entirely different topic. But yung right now na naiisip mo habang ginagawa natin to, our mind, our mind is actually um, processing the things that we are saying, the things that we are looking at right at this very moment. Now, there are also things that we usually remember, part of our memories, di ba? So, kung ilang taon ka man, yan, so, ganun karami na rin ang memories mo. There are so many people that you might have met way back then. There are so many things that you have learned. There are so many moments that you have experienced, moments that made you happy, made you sad, made you cry, made an impact in your lives, giving you inspiration to do the things that you want to do and to think and look ahead. Ano ba yung mga naaalala mo? Naaalala mo ba yung teacher mo dati? Naaalala mo pa ba yung crush mo nung bata ka? Naturalmente, yan yung mga bagay na kung yung mga ex na naalala mo pa yan, nasasabihin yan pagkasama mo misis mo, di ba? Utang. Yan, utang. I'm sure naalala natin kung sino yung mga may utang sa atin, kung magkano yung utang. Ano lang, no? Nakaka-amaze lang na parang yung mga may utang naman sa atin, it seems that they don't remember it, no? Parang hindi nila naaalala. Oh, may utang ba ako sa'yo? Or ano ba, pinipilit na lang ba nilang tanggalin sa kanilang memorya yung nangyari nung nakaraan kung kailan nagsabi sila ng Mars, kamusta na? So ngayon, ah, kung magbabayad man sila, most probably those are one of the things that we're looking forward to, no? Ano yung ano yung mga pangarap mong gawin? What are the things that you are thinking of thinking of doing in the future? Maybe a basketball game tomorrow, the new episode, kung ano man yung sinusubaybayan mo, whether that's on TV, Netflix, or whatever streaming platform that you are watching. Yung kainan ngayong Pasko, no? So, those are typically the things that we are looking forward to. Nabanggit ko yung Pasko, syempre yung bonus, no? Sa mga magbo-bonus dyan. Uh, as aside from looking forward to that, ano yung mga bibilin mo? Baka yung iba nang problema, ay, ano kaya ang pangre-regalo ko? Ganyan, no? Those are among the challenges that we think about that are deep in our thoughts, right here on top of our head. So, typical definition muna tayo, no? Thoughts, no? Thoughts typically defined as an idea or opinion produced by thinking or occurring suddenly in the mind. So, take note, produced by thinking. So, meaning to say there is a thought process, pinag-iisipan natin. Kaya nga, di ba, minsan, maybe sa school work or sa office work, meron kayong brainstorming session or yung bigla mo lang naalala or occurring suddenly in the mind. Uy, may narinig kang kanta. Parang team song namin yun dati. O kaya, uy, may nakita kang post. May nakita kang post, no? Uy, bagong cellphone. Bumili siyang bagong cellphone. Naalala ko may utang pa sa akin to, ah. Ayan, bigla na lang nating naiisip, no? That's why some of which we share, most we keep to ourselves. May mga bagay na gusto nating i-share. Oy, naisip ko. Halimbawa na rin lang, kung nambobola ka na rin lang. At totoo naman na naalala mo rin siya. May message mo, uy, kamusta ka na? Naalala lang kita, ganyan. Parang ang hirap nga lang nung, "Uy, kamusta na?" Naalala ko lang may utang ka pa sa'kin, 'no? So, most we keep to ourselves like, ah, sa mga nakikinig lang or maybe nanonood nito, ilang beses na ba na may pinakilala sa inyo ang barkada niyo ta's nasa utak niyo, "Parang pangit naman ito." Kaya parang mukha siyang babaero o kaya parang, "Seryoso ba talaga siya?" Yung mga ganyan. Ang hirap sabihin, 'di ba? So, may mga bagay na mahirap sabihin that we just keep to ourselves. Iniisip natin, we're thinking about it, but we do not automatically share it or bring it outside. Unfortunately, may mga tao rin na parang hindi nila masyadong naiisip, no? Or hindi na nakakapag-isip. Bigla na lang may naalala, may magsasalita. Di ba? Yung mga uma-attend ng mga family reunion. Uy, kailan ka magpapakasal? Uy, ang taba mo na. Ganyan. So bigla nilang naisip nung nakita ka, then they just blurted it out to you without thinking whether you are gonna be hurt or not, 'di ba? May mga tao na bigla na lang magpo-post ng kung ano-anong ipo-post nila kung saan mang social media accounts without really thinking about what they are posting. Totoo ba ito? Verified ba ito? Etc. So, marami, no? Yung mga nakakabasa naman nun, minsan, you just keep it to yourselves na, ano ba naman, tanga-tanga naman. Things like that. So, one thing about the thought process or being able to think things through is it gives us a way to improve life. Um, Malaking pasasalamat natin, of course, to most of our ancient philosophers who have given us some of the wisdom that we are using until now. In my work as a strategic planner, so one of the tenets that we follow, of course, is the work of Sun Tzu in his book Art of War. It typically is about military strategies, but for for business students or kahit hindi ka business students, most of the management theories nowadays has evolved from the military. And in ancient China, the teachings of Sun Tzu has been very instrumental. And the power of it is that it is still being considered even today. From the battlefield to the boardroom, those ancient lessons are alive today as it was centuries ago. Then of course, we have the daring innovators. So sa mga nagbabiyahe dyan, innovations made on airplanes, innovations made on transport systems, innovations of engineering. Those are those enabled us to have the the comfort of life that we are enjoying right now, or at least prepared, di ba? At least prepared in having the comfort of life that we are enjoying right now. For example, the Wright brothers, when they were doing their work on the airplane, I'm sure never they imagine that um, air travel would revolutionize as much as it had revolutionized today. Di ba? So, maaring hindi pa yun yung final solution, but sometimes, or actually oftentimes, the innovations that they have started actually paved the way or gave the foundation to the possibilities that we are experiencing right now. And of course, speaking of which, most of those things built up on those theories from ancient philosophers to daring innovators to our present day visionaries. Yung mga naranasan natin, let's say, the streaming apps, modern communications, all of those are thought about by present day visionaries that maybe in the field of business, in the field of medicine, in the field of engineering, has thought of a way to further improve our lives. Of course, if there are good ideas, there are also bad ones. Tao lamang tayo, no? Meron tayong good and bad side. Minsan parang pag-inisip natin, napag-isipan ba nila to? Actually, the sad part about it is that history is actually littered with implementations of bad ideas or implementations of maybe thinking on the dark side, for the Star Wars fans out there. And they thought about it actually, no? The wars, famine, most of this have been engineered by people who would like to would dream about global domination. And the sad part about it is it's conceived in that little corners of their respective minds. What's more frightening about it is that all of us actually has the capacity to think bad thoughts, to do bad things, enabling us to do bad things. But the good thing about it is that if we are capable to do that, we are also capable of doing good things, thinking about good ideas, think about helpful ideas. Now, in this podcast or in this video or whichever platform you are viewing this, we will try to discuss about this. No? Kung tingnan natin, asan ba yung mga good ideas, bad ideas, good opinions, bad opinions, all of those really come from our thoughts. And hopefully we can discuss them all throughout. No? So, because usually, typically, what we think about, we put it into something. No? We put it into words. Tinay-type natin, ay, magko-comment nga ako dito, ma-type nga to. Or sa, may nagsusulat pa ba ng love letter? May nagsusulat pa ba ng tula? Things like that. They are able to bring out their thoughts through words. Some through pictures or paintings, di ba? Yung mga magagandang shots na nakikita natin, yung mga magagandang paintings that maybe when you go to museums. And finally, of course, sabi nga nila, di ba? Action speaks louder than words. So we put our thoughts into action. Halimbawa, gusto mo tumulong. Naisip mo, ay, parang masarap tumulong. Okay, naisip mo siya, but may ginawa ka ba? So pag ginawa mong tumulong, that then is putting things into reality, putting things into actions. Now, usually this comes with our intent, a clearly formulated or planned intention, or the state of mind in which an act is done. So ano yung intention mo para gawin yung isang bagay? Balikan natin yung yung action, yung ginamit yung example pag gusto mong tumulong, and then yung good and bad side, no? Volunteerism, for example. So parang just in itself, parang ang ganda niya, parang ang ganda niyang pakinggan. Uy, nag-volunteer ka, tumulong ka, etc. Ganyan. Ano yung intention behind that? Is it a good or a bad intention? 'Di ba? Talaga bang bukal sa loob mo na tumulong lang or naghihintay ka ng kapalit? 'Di ba? So, think about that intent. Also, it guides us as we put form into our respective thoughts. Ano ba yung nangyari? Parang pag nagsusulat ka, ay, teka, ano ba yung intention ko dito? I want this to sound informative, or I want this to sound offensive. Ganyan. So it guides us when we form it, no? Gusto ko bang manakit? Gusto ko bang tumulong? Ayan, nasa intention natin siya. So it also gives purpose to what we are about to do. So the reason why we are maybe helping another person is because to uplift his or her spirits. The reason why we are saving is that so we may have better choices moving forward. So it gives purpose to what we are about to do. Bakit ka nagda-diet? Gusto mo lang bang gu- gumwapo ka, sumeksi ka, maging macho ka, or gusto mong mas maging healthy ka? 'Di ba? So yung mga ganong bagay may even determine whether you succeed or not in what you are about to do. No? So think about it. Think about it. So let's discuss on some examples. No? Ito yung mga usually no? Na nadadaanan ng ating mga intensyon. No? So when we are asking questions, giving a presentation, minsan going on a date, no? So tingnan natin sila bawat isa, no? Medyo interesting. But of course, as this is our initial episode, no? So we'll just browse through some of them, and maybe as we go along in different episodes, you can maybe suggest kung ano yung mas gusto nating pag-usapan on a deeper meaning, deeper understanding, deeper thinking. And maybe I'll also try to select mga medyo mas exciting na pwede nating isipin at ilabas sa ating mga kanya-kanyang isipan. So asking questions, no? Is your intention to increase what you know or to show that you know more? Oops! Sa mga nakikinig dyan or maybe nanonood, I'm sure may mga naisip kayo dyan sa to show that you know more. Yung mga nagmamarunong at nagdidikta, no? But of course, like I said, it all boils down to our intention. Kasi minsan naman talaga, kailangan natin magtanong, no? Kailangan natin magtanong. For some reason, may mga tao na hirap magtanong. Na for example, ako kanina, naliligaw na ako dun sa pupuntahan ko. Pero ma-pride ako eh. Ma-pride ako. Kaya ko to, malalaman ko to. Alam ko kung paano to. Nakarating naman ako, no? Nakarating naman ako. But because of my pride, I was unable to get there as early as kumbaga earlier, 'di ba? Pero kaya ko naman sanang makarating ng mas maaga. But pininindigan ko eh, 'di ba? I could have asked so that I knew where I was going, 'di ba? May mga iba naman na pag nagtanong sila, gusto lang nilang idiktika, no? So be careful of those persons. That's why it's important to think, are you merely inquiring or insinuating? Uy, 'di ba? Parang pag tinanong ka ng partner mo na, bakit lagi mong katabihan sa picture? Oh, is that inquiring or insinuating? Mag-ingat ka na sa isasagot mo. 'Di ba? Yan yung sinasabi na measure your words carefully in the next few minutes. 'Di ba? So that you will know how to answer those questions. 'Di ba? Um, be careful din, no? Kasi minsan baka we might exude or we might bring out the wrong interpretation of what we would like to do, no? Kasi parang baka naman talagang you're just innocently inquiring, but the way you're asking questions sounds like you are insinuating. And that's another topic that we will discuss as we delve more on the communication side. And finally, let's take note that questions can lead to the right answers or at least move away from the wrong one. So, um, minsan, if pag naiimbitahan ako na mag-panel sa isang business case defense, of course, I would like to test the mettle of the students. No, alam ba talaga nila yung research nila? Prepare ba talaga? Did they do their homework? Did they do the research properly? Did they push the figures? Did they really understand the concept that they are presenting? I would test that. Now, unfortunately, hindi lang naman ako ang nag-iisa sa kaya nga siya panel, hindi ako nag-iisa, di ba? So, minsan, grupo kami, 3 or 5. Sometimes, sa sobrang taranta ng mga ibang mga estudyante, hindi, kahit na, minsan kasi nararamdaman ko na alam naman nila yung sasabihin nila eh. Nararamdaman ko they really put in the effort. It's just that the pressure might be getting to them. So minsan tinutulungan ko na. Kunwari nagtatanong ako, pero yung tanong ko is leading na papunta doon sa tamang sagot. 'Di ba? Minsan nga sa pag nanonood tayo ng yung mga courtroom scenes, Your Honor, the counsel is leading the witness, 'di ba? Kasi minsan yun din ang iingatan natin. The question might be leading you into a trap, 'di ba? Na parang pinapaamin ka na pala, hindi mo pa nararanasan. Yan ang isa pa sa mga magagandang i-discuss natin. Ano, ino-note ko nga yan. Ano yung mga, baka mamaya, You have to think. Di ba? Kaya nga tayo Jutz a thought, di ba? It may be just a thought, just thinking about it, but at that moment, pag hindi mo na pag-isipan, baka yung pagtatanong sa'yo, papunta na pala sa trap. Okay, so finally, when you're giving, next up is when you're giving a presentation, no? Whether at school, at work, ganyan. So, when you're giving a presentation, is your information to inform, to excite, to influence? It may be a new project, a new product that you are planning to launch. You might be expressing, you might want to get support for a new idea. Remember, in businesses, in corporations, in the corporate world, kada galaw gastos. 'Di ba? Especially if your project entails significant investments such as maybe purchasing new equipments, hiring manpower, getting consultants, you may really need to, aside from informing your audience, you have to excite them and you have to influence them to support you as well, no? However, ito yung minsan napapag, how do I put this? Minsan kasi yung ibang tao gusto lang nilang magpa-impress. Ah, Lika dito, gusto kitang i-promote, mag-report ka. Galingan mo ng pagsasalita para ma-impress yung mga tao sa'yo para mas madali kitang ma-promote. Impress. Natutunan ba? Pwedeng wala, di ba? Yung iba naman, they want to express what they know. However, if they are not really capable, okay, maaaring nandun sa slides niya yung necessary information, but sorry, if that person is uh, how do I put this, boring pakinggan, wala talaga makikinig sa kanya, no? I have a very bad habit when I was taking up my masters way back then. Ando naman lahat ng information, no? Ng information ng mga kaklase ko when they are reporting. Unfortunately, yun din yung pangit doon. Nandun kasi lahat ng information. So pag nakita ko, nandun lahat ng information sa slides nila when they are reporting, binabasa lang nila, eh, anong gagawin ko? Babasahin ko na rin lang yan pag binigyan nila sa akin. Lalabas na lang ako ng classroom, kakain ako, or back then, I was still smoking at smoke outside. So, I think the key here, yung iba kasi sinasabi nila, you don't report to impress, report to express. But personally, my thoughts about this is, it has to work hand in hand. You need also to get the attention of your audience by impressing them so that you can express your thoughts in a manner that they will understand, in a manner that they will really get on board to what you are saying, no? May mga tao kasi na akala nila pag mahaba yung report nila impressive, or akala nila pag mahaba yung report nila they are expressive, pero minsan 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, na halos yan pa rin ang topic na pinag-uusapan natin. Nakakaantok na, di ba? So, that's something that we will cover more again in the communications portion of our Jutz Thought. And finally, ito medyo exciting, going on a date. Isa lang ang tanong ko dyan. Seryoso ba o hindi? Casual ba or not? Masama ba? Baka hindi naman, di ba? Why? What if that person is not really looking for something serious? And then if you can offer something casual, offer something casual. Hindi mo naman kailangan pilitin kung hindi mo talaga gustong seryosohin yung isang tao. Bakit magkakasakitan lang kayo? Di ba? So, so, so dating, the thoughts that are coming into our mind and the intention, uh, will have to really come out, no? Unfortunately, madalas may mismatch. Dalawang tao kayo eh. 'Di ba? Dalawang tao, minsan nga sa sarili mo lang hindi mo na maintindihan gagawin mo, 'di ba? Sa ibang tao pa kaya. So, it's a tricky situation, but it's a situation that you have to risk diving into when you are looking for a relationship, 'di ba? It's always a risk when you open up yourself to another person. Parang ako, o ba, nung kabataan ko, gusto ko ng relationship. Hmm. Karamihan sa mga nagugustuhan ko, ang gusto nila, friendship. Pareho namang may ship, pero ganun lang talaga eh. I just had to roll with it until something good comes along, 'di ba? So ligaw lang ng ligaw, kahit na lagi kang nababasted. For those na medyo malapit sa edad ko, at kilala niyo si Nelson Asaytono, isang magaling na PBA player way back then. Sabi nga niya, nung isang ini-interview siya, tira lang ng tira, may papasok din diyan. So, just go with it, no? Pero kung pwede mong iwasan na wag ka nang manloko, tanggalin mo na sa intention mo 'yan. Okay? So, hopefully we can enjoy more of these talks as we move along. Hopefully I can share some of my thoughts, and hopefully the thoughts that I am sharing can be beneficial to you. So with that, as we turn what we're thinking into action, breathe life in the intent that's formed within our minds, it may be good or bad. Please remember that it all starts with Jutz, a thought.